Hello, I am Peter Norman from IKONICS Imaging. I am at the NBM show and we are demonstrating how easy it is to sandblast compound curves with photoresist. So what I'm going to do is, this is our pre-imaged ultra peel photoresist mask, pre-imaged washout mask. When you're working on a compound curve, what you want to do is get a corner of the mask down, because I'm going to take off the carrier sheet. Once you have the carrier sheet off, you can apply the mask, wrapping it around the compound curve, and the mask will conform to the curve, and you're able to pull and stretch any areas where you start getting wrinkles. If I were to leave the carrier on, the carrier is very rigid and doesn't want to conform. So by taking the carrier off, you can apply a mask to a compound curve. Now you will get some wrinkles, especially if you're using a large mask. All you have to do is press out the wrinkles and just make sure there's no wrinkles in the sandblast area. Once you have your mask on, we recommend using the wire wheel. The wire wheel will help remove any unwanted air bubbles that could cause issues during the blast. And once you remove the air bubbles, you apply masking tape to protect the surrounding area. Now, another question we get asked is, how do you do multi-level stage carving? Well, this piece is actually perfect for multi-level. So what I'll do is we'll sandblast it, and then I'll demonstrate how easy you can put an additional etch by peeling different layers away. So now that we have the mask applied and the protective surrounding tape, we're ready to sandblast. We're going to be using our Crystal Blast Elite. Our Crystal Blast Elite has the largest dust collector in the industry, 700 CFM. The size of our impeller is so large that we have such great suction, we don't need to have cuffs or gloves on. So when you're doing a large production run, you could have a lot of these glasses sitting right next to the blaster, put them in, blast them, take it out, put another one in and blast it. So you can be extremely efficient with this sandblaster. So to do the blasting, you always want to be at 90 degrees. You can see that our sandblaster uses a very light reinforced urethane hose, which is a quarter of the weight compared to standard sandblast hoses. This will help give less fatigue during the blasting process. Now, we're sandblasting a wine glass, so I don't want to blast too deep. Because you obviously do not want to go through the glass. So if we're doing a light surface etch, we'd be done. But I want to get a little bit of depth, because we're going to do a little bit of a stage carve so you can see the difference in the relief when you peel certain layers away. So I'm going to turn the pressure up slightly. The higher the pressure, the faster you can achieve your depth. And again, we won't go too deep because this is a wine glass. We have an air hose in our cabinet, so we can blow off any pieces after blasting. And if we're doing just a single stage, we would be done. But now, what we want to do is peel off a couple layers to show the difference in the multi-level stage carving. So the key to multi-level stage carving is having separation areas where you can peel off the mask. You can see where I have sandblasted around the borders of these areas. I can now go in and peel the mask off, and then it allows for the multi-level look. Now, the Ultra Peel mask that I'm using is extremely peelable, thus the name Ultra Peel, and it works very well for this type of job where you're going to do multi-level stage carving. You can see how easy the mask peels off, allowing for a very quick peel and then back in the sandblaster for a quick etch. So now that I've peeled off several layers, I'm going to go back into the sandblaster And we're gonna do, it's a multi-level, but it's going to be more of a shading. So I'm gonna turn the pressure down on the Crystal Blast Elite to about 10 PSI. And when you do this, you can give a piece of glass a nice light etch, which makes it still, it's so light that it's still see-through, but it really adds value to the piece you're sandblasting. So you can see there's just a very small amount of abrasive coming out. We're just barely hitting this with the low pressure. And that's all it takes. So with our Crystal Blast Elite, we have an LED backlight which helps with inspection. So if I wanted to make sure that, oh, missed a piece that I can see right here, I wanted to peel that piece off, and maybe I wanted to peel this little piece off and actually etch that, the light will help show that. So now I can go back in and hit those areas. So now that I'm done sandblasting, I need to remove the mask. All of our masks are water soluble, so if you're doing a large job, you could take the pieces of glass, set them in water, walk away, do something else, and then in about 10 minutes run your hands over the mask and it'll fall right off. But the mask being peelable, we'll just peel it off. Now that the mask has been removed, we're going to clean with glass cleaner. And here is the multi-level stage carve on a compound curve. And you can see when you view from the backside how those leaves really pop because of the shading we added. And it's just that simple. So sand carving can be fun, it's extremely easy, and you can do very decorative things that add value to the substrates that you're carving. For more information, please check out our website at ikonicsimaging.com, and feel free to call our 800 number anytime, 800-643-1037.